Hey guys, Klesso here. Welcome to the third and final round of 3v3 Grand Arena. Here's a look at my defense. The top front, I set a little harder than normal. The Bastilla, a Bossk, and a GK lead. The bottom, this is my hardest area. I got my triple tank, Vandor Chewbacca. No lead there, but still really good. Palpatine and Revan to finish that off. Top, back. This is the third hardest, but relatively easy defense. I'm trying to force them up top and waste a bunch of teams before they get down. This is my weakest area. I don't think they're ever going to get here, though. So, let's see what he's doing on defense. Up top, he's got a CLS, Mother Talzin, and a Zeta Maul. Pretty good teams on the bottom. He's got a Thrawn, Zeta Kylo Ren Unmasked, and a Bossk team. Really good. I'm going to open it up and go against their Night Sisters. And I use my classic counter, Veer, Stark, and Range Trooper. Man, Range Trooper is so good. I'm so happy I got him to 11. He makes this team go really well, especially against Night Sisters. Idea here is just to get the first kill, and then we can start rolling. That's the trick to Imperial Troopers, is just getting that very first kill, and then turn meter train starts going, and it's pretty much over from there. Pretty easy win against a good Night Sister team. Alright. Let's see. Now this did not go as well as it always has before. This is a weird one. I only got one exposed there. This team usually wrecks Bossk lead. As long as I'm faster, and I usually am, I try to put pretty good speed on my Poe. But you'll see here, just things go weird. A miss here, miss there, and right there. If that would have stunned, that would have been great. But it didn't happen. He evaded it. So, still rocking and rolling a little bit. Still feel like I'm in control. Didn't get a expose on his basic. Got a stun there. That's pretty good. One more expose. Keep doing that. Man, Dengar, he is really the showstopper on this one. He does a great job somehow. That was a big hit by Boba Fett. Try to get a stun. Not see, evaded. Man, this team just evades a couple times, and it would have completely changed the course of this, I think. But a couple dodges here and there, and boy, I do take out Boba Fett right there, so that's good. And I'm going to try to get a stun on Bossk. No, go back to the exposed there. Keep the Terminator. Oh, there's a dodge. And once Poe goes down, you're kind of in trouble. You're going to see here, he got his contract right there. That's bad news. So this team underperformed because of 3 or 4 dodges that honestly has never happened before. I've never seen that before. So that screwed me a little bit later in this match, because I'm going to have to end up going back in later. Man. Now, we got a Zeta crew team here, and a lot of people don't realize, but Ewoks are a pretty hard counter to First Order, especially if you got them modded well. And this is the 3 that really make the team go. With Chirpa Lead, Zeta, Wicket, and Paplu. And this goes pretty darn well. Sometimes I set these guys on defense because it's actually pretty darn tricky. And one thing I've noticed in this 3v3 also are things that normally work that you're used to, counters and stuff, they don't work in 3v3. Without having those extra couple people to you know, make everything go tricky. 3v3 is very tricky, I found out. I really enjoyed this setup, but there is a learning curve, and I'll be ready next time even better. Use some Night Sisters. This is my second tier Night Sister team against their Zeta Maul. I'm going to try to get a stun. It's good to get a stun on Dooku because he has retribution, so you got to be kind of careful to hit him when he's not stunned. That's why I switch over to Maul. Go get a heal on her basic. Try to get another stun. A stun from old Doc is pretty nice. Try to get another stun. So far so good. Get rid of that. Thought maybe that might kill him. It didn't. But it's the nice thing about a Ventress lead. With all the healing after they lose all their protection, they gain turn meter. Oh, I can't believe that didn't get him out of there. Now he's gone. Try to get a heal. Heal again. Try to get some bonus for full health on a couple tunes. Not too shabby. I wasn't sure what to expect with that Zeta Maul. I'm not super well versed in how to go against that. Now this is rough. This is what I mean by 3v3 not having the same efficiency as a normal 5v5. Normally, Mother Talzin is a great hard counter to CLS, but in this arena, boy, it does not work well. She didn't get stealth there, so that really stinks. Acolyte stealthing is a big part of why this team works. Now I should have abandoned. I really, because now I fed so much turn meter, and I'm gonna have to go back in with another strong team. I'm gonna try to mirror match it, and as you'll see, with the turn meter loaded, my Han doesn't get to take, you know, a lot happened. Like CLS going before my Han is just crazy right there. Not taking any chances to get their Han out of there. And I should have switched over right here to Chewie, but I thought I could have enough DPS to get through Commander Luke, and man, it doesn't happen. So I wasted another good team here. He ends up getting me. And it's kind of a theme for this whole experience with 3v3 is just losing a couple really good teams early. You know, something goes wrong and you got to use a couple really good offensive teams to go back in and take them out. And then I just don't have enough at the very end to take out, even though they're not great teams in the back areas necessarily, I'll struggle mightily against them because I had to use and waste too much up front. But, you know, that's pretty neat. Whole new setup. You know, you never really know what's going to happen. RNG doesn't go your way and all of a sudden the wheels fall off. Boy. But it's still fun. You know, I lost Rex there. Wampa hits real hard though. I'm never really scared in this one. I do fracture him there even though that's way overkill because my luck he'd evade and then stuff goes sideways, but they're gone. That's one of my favorite offensive teams that I wish I didn't have to use to clean up the CLS, but I do. So now I'm going back to that Bosk team where I killed Boba Fett, and this team actually worked for me decently in an earlier round for cleanup, but because Tebow lead actually, I mean Tebow's not a great Ewok, but as a lead, you can control turn meter pretty darn good, and I actually do control turn meter pretty decent in this match, but you'll notice it doesn't do any good because there's no power on this team. I'm just trying to chip away at the protection. In hindsight, this was a horrible idea for this team. I thought maybe with a turn meter I could, you know, get some better hits in, but it just doesn't work. I end up actually abandoning this because I liked the start of this match with where the turn meter was and Bosk not being taunting right away. So I'm going to go back in. You'll see here, I realize that, look, this is not working. So I'm going to go back in a little bit and use a heavier team, because these Bosk leads you just can't mess around with. You mess around and all of a sudden you've wasted a couple really good teams against it if you don't go hard early on it. That's why it just stinks that my Zeta Finn team, resistance team, didn't take it out initially. I don't think I'll be scared to try that again next time, because I think that this was an absolute positively fluke. I've never seen that happen before. Usually you get a couple exposes and it's literally game over. They don't take a turn. And 3 or 4 evades on that last match against this team, and it just did not go well. Just chipping away, but it's not enough. See, and he gets that taunt and all that protection back up, and I'm just wasting time. So I'm like, alright, screw this. I just forfeit. That's what you got to do. That way the turn meter's right where it is, where you left off. Now, see, this is another great team. But I can't take any chances. If I'm going to clear the section, I can't mess around. So we'll just use one of my best offensive teams and just clear it. Just be done with it. One good thing is always call BB-8 to assist, because with his rolling with the punches, he calls another resistance ally to help out, which means you get an extra hit every time if you have him assist. So make sure you always call BB-8 to assist. It looks weird because JTR is going first, but I am calling BB-8 to assist. That's why she hits a couple times. You can see how easy this was. Man, this team offensively takes out just about anything. Even has a shot at taking out Revan. You got to get lucky. Revan's hard no matter what, but it can do it. This is another one where I didn't want to get too cute and try something that wasn't going to work on the first try, because you can't take this team light either. So even though I'm using my best offensive team, one of the best offensive teams in a way, I just can't take any chances. I got to clear this front section and see what's back there. Now, I'm gambling a little bit because this guy does have some really good teams, and if he set them in back, then I'm just SOL by using up all of my good teams up front. But you also got to clear areas. That's how you get all those bonus points. And the goal isn't to beat every single thing. I mean, it is, but it's more important just to, depending on what you set on defense, you just got to do a little bit better to win than they do. So I feel like my defense is really darn good, especially with the counters that I saw that he had. I really don't think he's going to get past my top area. He might beat both my top areas, but there's no way I don't see him getting through my bottom front section with Revan and my triple tank team and my Palpatine team. So now let's see what's going on back there. Okay. I usually reserve this team for Bastilla or even a Revan, but it's a Jedi team. You got the GK Barris combo, so I figure I might as well go heavy. He doesn't have a ton back here. I feel pretty confident. My Kira lead, she's not geared high at all, but it doesn't matter. You don't need her geared high. You really only are using her to get her lead bonuses for Nest. So you just have to Omega Kira's lead, and she's kind of meant to die. Now, I am going to gear her to at least 11 at some point. It's just not necessary. Nest is so good, especially with that. And then you put in Hermit Yoda and get that Master's Training on Nest, and man, she just starts cracking people really hard. I like my Nest with a ton of tenacity and no speed, and you're just using her as a pure counter. Every time they hit her, she hits back, but way harder. So even though they nerfed Nest a little while back, that really only affects her against Revans and Treyas that have the where the health diminishes over time. But for everyone else, it's not a big deal at all. And with a super high tenacity, no speed Nest, it still works against Revan somewhat, especially if that Revan team doesn't have a Bastila with all the bonus potency. If your tenacity's high enough, all that health down stuff that Revan doesn't work. So it still works decently against Revan if you mod her right. Going against a Phoenix here. His Phoenix isn't very good. He doesn't have any Zetas on him. They're okay. They're all, 10, 11. That's why I put in a lesser offensive team. Just trying to get out their Hera because she's the weakest. So I can get her done right there. Now I'm playing 3-on-2 and I feel pretty good about it. So even if, they make a little headway, I'm not too scared. I always try to get, especially in this 3v3 mode, getting somebody down early and playing 3-on-2 is such an advantage. Just having one extra character makes a huge difference. And that's done. It's not too shabby of a little offensive team. Here I'm going to go against their Rogue One squad. It's okay. But I've left myself really short offensively because I struggled against that CLS and that Bossk team up front. Man, I would have cleared the entire board if Bossk didn't evade and Boba Fett didn't evade so much. Against my Zeta Finn, I would have cleared this board pretty easy because I wouldn't have had to waste such good teams to go back in and clear stuff up. You'll see that I don't beat this team. I take out Jyn, but I want to. This guy still has a really hard Asajj Ventress team in this section, so I didn't want to waste too much on this team because I thought I could probably pick it apart if I can get through that Asajj Ventress team. And spoiler alert, that doesn't happen. This top team here, boy, it turned out to be way better defensively than I thought it was going to be. But I left myself short, and I don't have a lot going in here. I'm going to, after a couple rounds, I went in a lot, just trying to throw everything at this team. I eventually get Talia out. But, boy, Zombie really wrecks things. That constant taunt. So, I try using teams that, after this first round, that stun, that remove buffs, because you just got to kill. See, there's one kill on Talia. Just trying to get Talia killed 2 or 3 times, then she doesn't come back. But I got to keep, because of the stupid zombie, I got to keep going. There's 2 kills on Talia. 1 more and she can't come back. See how close she was there? That would have helped a lot too for future endeavors. But it doesn't happen, and they end up taking it out. So, I'm pretty much done now. There's not much more I can do offensively. I'm going to try some First Order. This team worked pretty decent last round on cleaning some stuff up. So I'm going to see if I can make something happen. See, that zombie just goes right away and gets that taunt right back. Man, that's frustrating. But if I can get Talia dead 1 more time, then he won't come back. That Asajj Ventress lead is, man, that's a good lead. Okay. Oh, man, see, that must reset, because usually after you kill someone 3 times, they can't come back. That's part of the mechanic. That's why I don't understand. That's rather frustrating, to say the least. Try to get some slowdown. Got a couple of them, but right back to business. And that's that turn meter train. Once that starts going, it's not great for you. Now from here on out, I'm gonna speed this up. I figured maybe put some decent big hitters in here, and maybe I could just burst through and get some kills, get some AoE kills, and it doesn't happen. So I sped up these last couple battles until I finally just give up and consider what I've done good enough. And it should be. My opponent has a pretty darn good roster, but I just don't think they're getting through my defense, so I should win regardless. Clearing 3 sections I think is going to be good enough, because at best I think he's only going to be able to clear my top 2. So I didn't feel too bad. I got to a point in this battle where I said, hey, let's see what I can do. I'm just going to throw anything I can at it. Finally got Talia out, trying to work on Ventress. I don't know what. I ended up killing Ventress a few times, but she kept coming back, and I didn't think that was supposed to happen after you burn through killing other Night Sisters a couple times. But I'm sure there's a mechanic in there I'm just not thinking of. I'm guessing. So close. This team did actually not as bad as I thought I would. I was grasping at straws here, just trying anything I could. But that zombie taunt, man, that's nasty. If you don't have a strong enough team to go through it fast enough. Gets that speed bonus. And just nothing works, but that's fine. I mean, I've done enough in this battle. I ended this 3v3 tournament with 2 wins and a loss. My loss is to the winner of the whole thing, and that's who I faced in round 2. And I actually did pretty good in round 2, based on what he did too, because we both struggled against each other, and I only lost by like 30 points. I think I did better against him than anyone else did. So, and this was neat. I don't know. I learned a lot. A lot of people didn't care for 3v3. I really liked it. I had a good experience. I like territory wars. A lot of people don't. Some people do. I enjoyed it. But in the end, I was left with this. I ended up attacking that 12 times. And I could have done more, but for what, you know? And I thought I would be able to just grind it down and take it out, and I just never could. That CLS team up front and that Bossk team up front, I just had to use a little too much to take those out, and it left me short and back. So, but I did enough. I'm okay. And then that will be that. Unfortunately, I had to make this video before I got a chance to see what he did offensively, but with just a few hours to go now, and he still hasn't attacked. I don't know if he's going to, or if he's just waiting until the last minute, but regardless, I think I got this one in the bag. I appreciate you guys watching. All 3 rounds here was pretty neat. Hope you had a good experience with it too. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned a lot. Bye.